obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. And that old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe it. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
In Iowa, we all play by hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
High School Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. An exciting matchup in Class 2A awaits as the Spencer Tigers go head-to-head against the North Scott Lancers. And hello, soccer fans. Delighted to have you with us here on this Wednesday afternoon from the James County Soccer Complex in Des Moines alongside my broadcast partner, Blake Walker. I'm Hunter Phillips, and Blake, the day has finally arrived, the opening day for state soccer, and we're moments away from what's always the intriguing 3 versus 6 matchup, especially here in this 2A matchup.
Oh, yeah. I mean, North Scott and Spencer, the highest scoring team in the state of Iowa. These girls love to score the goal, and it's all thanks to their star, Addison Hoban. 64 goals this season. That's more than like half, 3/4 of the entire state in terms of goals scored. She scored more goals than North Scott has their entire season, Hunter. That's how that's gone. It should be a phenomenal game. Obviously, two teams that are acquainted to coming here to the state tournament. Very good resumes. Take a look at their road to state. North Scott defeated Central DeWitt to get here. Spencer defeated Denison Schleswig. Two very talented teams. It almost feels like a 4-5 and not a 3-6.
Yeah, you look again at the mark for Spencer, 15 and 338 goals scored as a team, leading all classes, as well as 103 assists. And Addison Hoban, certainly the one to keep an eye on. She had 7 goals in their regional championship win over Denison Schleswig. But then you look at North Scott, 13-3-1. Central DeWitt, that was a game that really came down to the wire, won 3-2. But they're a team that, again, likes to spread things out very well. 57 goals scored, 3.3 per game. Kendall Nicely with 16 goals leading the team. And then Natalie Nepper, also one to keep an eye on. She will certainly have her work cut out for her between the pipes here this afternoon. But the temperatures continuing to rise here on this Wednesday afternoon. But the sun is out, and these teams are ready to get underway. We'll step aside and take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get you closer to the opening touch here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Living your best life means something different to everyone, especially when it comes to healthcare. That's why Mercy One offers compassionate, personalized care. We are here for you with one team of experts providing access to the primary care and highly rated specialty care you need, easily and conveniently. So go ahead, live your best life. We're with you every step of the way. Mercy One, your best life, our one purpose.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sunkissed Orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
And those are our teams ahead of this afternoon's match. We'll take another quick break, and we'll have the first half of action next here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, an Iowa farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud title sponsor of the state soccer tournament, the Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to creating a vibrant future for Iowa through partnerships and programs that help cultivate individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. Making it to the state tournament is a great accomplishment that takes a lot of support. That's why we provide millions of dollars in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence. And to help celebrate this achievement, the Iowa Farm Bureau provides commemorative soccer balls for each team competing in the state tournament. These keepsakes are a great way for these athletes to remember their experience here, as well as the teammates, coaches, parents, teachers, and mentors who've all played an important role in their journey. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau, congratulations to all the players and coaches on an outstanding season, and good luck in the tournament.
And welcome back here to the James County Soccer Complex on the south side of Iowa's capital city of Des Moines. It is the 3 versus 6 matchup, North Scott versus Spencer, and we're off and running. Hunter Phillips and Blake Walker, delighted to have you with us here on the Girls Union Network powered by Mid-American Energy. It is North Scott in their gray and red kits, while Spencer is in their white and purple kits. Two teams, Blake, that clear excellent attacking halves, and so it'll be interesting to see where something will have to give in this particular matchup.
Well, and they know how to be and how to play here. I mean, the 5th straight appearance for Spencer here at the state tournament. North Scott champions just 9 years ago, so both these teams know how to win here at the state tournament, know how to get here, so shouldn't change anything. The only thing, with Spencer, so many goals this season, not the toughest schedule they've been through, but sometimes that doesn't matter. You get to state and you've played so well, it really doesn't matter.
Just gives you that rejuvenation. The winner of this match will either face the 2-seed Dallas Center Grimes or the 7-seed Marion on Friday. And peeking over to our left, Blake, the Mustang faithful for DCG have had a lot to cheer about. I believe they have scored 5 goals already here in the first half. So Dallas Center Grimes certainly making a statement here early. But these two teams certainly are going to be able to put on a show here in this one. Two schools that are separated by over 300 miles, and now they meet here in central Iowa. It is Spencer with control as the Lancers try to break it out. A foul will be called.
Yeah, North Scott 13-3-1 on the season. Losses to Pleasant Valley, Bettendorf, and Assumption. Obviously all very good programs. And then they tie against IGHSAU, which I'm just going to assume is an Illinois school. So definitely have been battle-tested, the Lancers have this year. Geneseo.
Member of the Mississippi Athletic Conference are the North Scott Lancers, the 3-seed, led by 21st-year head coach Dion Ayers.
6-0 over there on Dallas Center Grimes.
It's just been incredible what has gone on in the field. 2 hour left. Race Hilsenbeck. Now with it, Kendall Neasley, one of the team captains.
Gotta love both these teams' kits. Very bold letters or bold numbers on the back. Can easily tell from our vantage point.
There's a shot on goal. Well from outside, 20 yards.
Aubrey Stell is the goalkeeper for Spencer. Hunter, only 3 goals allowed this season, 14 saves. It sounds crazy to say only 3 goals allowed this year, but, I mean, she's just been absolutely phenomenal. Not letting anyone go. Add on top of that, such a high-scoring offense. It's a good combination.
Certainly has been one of the reasons for success this year for the Spencer Tigers.
Put it in perspective for you, Hunter. 11 games this season out of the 18 they've played, they've won by double digits. That's how good. And won by the 10-run rule, or 10-score rule. So, I mean, Spencer, they're barely even playing games at this point. That's how good their offense has been. But they meet a very good defensive North Scott team.
Just very methodical. And for Spencer, 5th straight appearance, as you noted, Blake, here in the state tournament. And they have the top scorer in the entire state, and Addison Hoban, number 7. And certainly someone that North Scott will try to keep at bay here, but several teams have tried to keep number 7 off the board, but to no avail. They'll get an offside here on North Scott.
Yeah, that was number 6, Reese Hilsenbeck. Got a little too far ahead. Hit her in the back of the leg, but still offsides nonetheless.
North Scott, meanwhile, 10th appearance here at the state tournament. As you noted, former state champion back in 2014, but the last few years, as that one slips through, and the Lancers, 5 minutes in, get themselves on the board first.
Reese Hilsenbeck, 7th or 13th goal of the year. Nice one with the right foot, gets right past the goalie. That's a heck of a start.
Owned a team-high 12 goals and 11 assists, or second on the team in goals, I should say. But, boy, what an early mark by North Scott.
She's your jack-of-all-trades player. If you can do well in goals and assists, you almost don't know as a defense what's she going to do. She's going to pass it? She's going to shoot it.
Well, that time just really confident with the right foot. And it got past, again, one of the top keepers in the class. And now how does how does Spencer respond here? Say it was off of North Scott, so a throw in here for the Tigers. And they immediately go to Hoban. Just the numbers that she has put up this year are just absolutely ridiculous when you think about it, all the multi-score games that she has had. Only player in the state to register more than 50 goals this year. Yeah, how about the 7-goal game in their region championship match? Just
video game numbers. It's crazy because she's 19 more goals higher than the second best person in the state. So, I mean, she's in a league of her own right now. And what a huge asset for the Spencer Tigers. They're going to need her today. I feel like she has to score today if they're going to get away with a victory. Got to stay aggressive.
Already down 1-0. But you see Spencer getting right back to it. There it is to Gabby Statler. Crosser. Oh, and close there for Hoban.
I don't think that's a rare mistake. I think it just she didn't think it was going to go where it was and got that right foot just a little too out front.
So first substitution of the match coming in for Spencer. Substitutions in this afternoon's match are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. So 5 minutes into the match, North Scott, the 3 seed, striking first. But it has been Spencer here in the last few minutes playing in the Lancers' half.
It's now Spencer staying aggressive here on offense with Hoban again. Not too far.
Just trying to get number 7 involved. But Spencer coming in with a 15-3 overall record. Fell to Bondurant Farrar back on May 6th, but got past Clear Creek Amana, then MOC Floyd Valley, that 10-0 rout.
Yeah, the postseason has not been very difficult for the Spencer Tigers. Have not even played full games so far here on the postseason. So, not saying that means a lot here at the state tournament, but I don't think you're going to score a differential like that.
But you look at North Scott before their regional tournament having to play at Pleasant Valley.
And lost, I mean, that's a tough tough match against a really good team, and then closes it out against Central DeWitt, who is very solid. So
started the season 7-0 was North Scott. And now charging ahead are the Lancers, with Hilsenbeck, who got the scoring started for North Scott just a mere minutes ago.
Don't see goalies come out that far. Aubrey Stell came pretty far out to try to make sure she got in front of that one. Obviously just kicks it back out, but sometimes that'll hurt you, though. You don't want to get too far out. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, if I can get there before they do, it sets you up, but
trying to minimize the damage, but also, again, there's risk-reward when playing in that kind of position. And Stell, the junior keeper, handles that one. It's played to the center. Bella Warm initially with it. Also a team captain for North Scott. Looking for a run there were the Lancers, but now back the other way goes Spencer. Oben pushing it in front, and Natalie Nepper, the senior keeper, with good recognition.
Shows you Addison's ability. She's on that far touch line. She didn't even have to do much, and she still almost had a really good shot on goal attempt. So shows you her skill. Again, just a sophomore, by the way. So
two more players will come in here for North Scott, and like we saw, Blake, in the first game, going to see both coaches really go to their benches because of the heat. Currently 84 degrees. 87 will be the high today, but it is awfully humid out. Feels like 86, humidity at 53%, but you still have that south wind coming in at 11 miles an hour, and so
it's saving me right now.
That's what's saving all of us right now for sure. It's
only and no clouds or anything. I mean, we might get rain this afternoon, but who knows? Dallas Center Grimes, by the way, just took a 7-0 lead over Marion. Hey, no, what's crazy is DCG's not even in the 1 seed. Waverly Shell Rock, who they lost or who they beat last year in the state title game, they have the 1 seed.
Well, North Scott, they fell to Waverly Shell Rock last year here at state. They're hoping to break that 2-year drought of being ousted in the first round. And so far, so good, off to a good start. Play just over 10 minutes here in our opening half at County Soccer Complex. Just getting underway. 1A already in the books. Teams punching their ticket to the semifinals. 2A, and then we'll round out the afternoon with Class 3A action here on the Girls Union Network. Strong toss from North Scott, but it'll go right back to Spencer.
And, you know, as the heat picks up and whatnot, no matter what, you always get that break at 20 minutes for hydration, which you and I talked about in that first game, Hunter. It's almost just like a free timeout. You get to figure things out. We saw Assumption in our first game. They benefited heavily from the hydration break, not just in terms of hydration, but in terms of getting better as a team.
Well, breaking it away was Spencer, but charging in is Bella Warm. Helsenbeck deflected by Lillian Gross.
Reese Hilsenbeck, Hunter, I tell you what, she's really starting to show a lot of potential here. She got that first goal. She was about one defender away from possibly grabbing another one here. And again, like I said, she can assist and score.
That was nicely. But now Eliza Edwards will bring it across the half line for Spencer, but then picked off by the captain.
Ooh.
One off of Autumn Erdman.
That's a heck of a save, too, because Hilsenbeck, was right there. think
so that'll
I have
allow
a handball over there.
Yep, I think so. So it changes up the possession here, and it will be a free kick for the Lancers. Making the commute from Eldridge. Good showing of fans here, as with Spencer. Spencer way up near the Iowa-Minnesota border.
Aubrey Stell with another good stop back there on the goal. Look at Hoban racing. I mean, such good speed. She's got good handles with the ball at her feet.
Trying to find Mathisen.
Yeah, set her team up well. She's got 23 assists this year, so she's not just a goal scorer only.
Someone that can just do it all. Very versatile this year for the Tigers. But staying in, there's Hoban right there. Second time, Blake, that she has had that opportunity with Statler setting her up.
Again, we don't really have the chance, obviously, to watch her during the season, but that's two opportunities. Just she means to get left with the right leg, and she just can't seem to do it. She's missed right now twice, but, her teammates are setting her up well.
Mathisen boxing out her defender. And Nepper will just watch that one fly past the end line. And a pair of IMT substitutions coming in for North Scott.
Natalie Nepper is the goalkeeper for North Scott. Senior, 63 saves on the year coming in, only 16 goals allowed. I mean, that's giving up more than a goal per game, but as long as your offense can stay on top, you're not going to be too worried.
So coming into the match for North Scott, Delaney Fitzgibbon. Boy, what a match she had against Central DeWitt. One of the catalysts for the Lancers to be able to push past, like you said, a very tough Central DeWitt squad. And sometimes it's nice to, be battle-tested there in the regional.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll hear that. Like, teams will make it, and it could be in basketball or something, and you're like, well, you won in overtime. Maybe you're not ready. Well, it actually sets you up a little bit better, a closer game. If it's just easy, and it's pretty much what it's been all season, you really weren't tested. Not saying it's bad not to make it to the state tournament and blow out whoever you play, but still, sometimes you like being battle-tested.
Well, and especially when you get here to state, because honesty compels to tell you that the matches are going to be a little bit closer as the competition level just continues to increase. Spencer still trying to find their way back, trying to equalize things down 1-0. Here with 23 minutes to go in the first half of this Class 2A quarterfinal. And we'll go back to North Scott.
They say handball, but it had to be pretty close. Coming close to that hydration break here.
Again, they have consistently come at around the 20-minute mark, so the midway point of each half.
But, North Scott's gotten a lot of good chances, and so has Spencer, but it feels like one of those games where you're like, man, if we gave up such an early goal, where we were quite ready defensively.
Yeah, but it did not take long for the Lancers to get themselves on the board, but Spencer has been able to find ways to get a little bit closer to that 12-yard box, the penalty area, but nothing has come to fruition thus far. There's Hoban pushing it back. Avery McEntee delivers it to the right side.
Ooh.
And just a little ahead of Gabrielle Statler.
Statler's 6 goals on the season. That's 5th best on the team. 18 shots, though, so she's right place, right time as one of those forwards up here.
Sophia Solis is back in for North Scott, got the start here this afternoon. Checking out is Ellie Scott as part of that IMT insurance substitution. So a throw in far side for the Lancers. Excellent execution off the throw in. Charging forward is Stell. She leaves it open. Oh, and the crosser just a little far ahead. And now they have an opening along the right side. And it will get waved off, but Blake, boy, just another golden opportunity there for North Scott to be able to pad their lead. But instead, that'll pause the action, and that will take us to our hydration break here at the County Soccer Complex. We will take a break as well. It's North Scott with the early advantage here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Living your best life means something different to everyone, especially when it comes to healthcare. That's why Mercy One offers compassionate, personalized care. We are here for you with one team of experts, providing access to the primary care and highly rated specialty care you need, easily and conveniently. So go ahead, live your best life. We're with you every step of the way. Mercy One, your best life, our one purpose.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sun-kissed orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion. Because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
Hey, Fan Central College has you covered with career-building programs, and with tuition less than $20,000 a year and tons of scholarships, it's the best decision ever. Apply today at central.edu. So back underway after the water break here at the County Soccer Complex. It is the 3-seed North Scott leading the 6-seed Spencer 1-0. Got a back-and-forth start here. To this one, both teams have had very quality looks. Of course, the one getting past the keeper was with the result of North Scott and Reese Hilsenbeck.
It was a right place, right time goal, if you will. It just kind of set up perfectly. And, you know, before that break there, I definitely think Aubrey Stell, she got lucky that North Scott didn't score again because she came all the way up trying to take the ball away from Hilsenbeck again and just barely avoided catastrophe there. But
just a couple of times and trying to maybe get ahead of the play, but it almost spelled disaster the second time. Collision there, penalty on Spencer.
Tigers looking for something here. Hoban's had a couple decent looks, but just nothing quite going for her. She's missed 2 shots, and that's really been all that Spencer's been able to put across.
This is the first ever meeting between these two programs, obviously geographically far away from one another, but no better time to first encounter one another than here on the big stage at State. Bella Warm charging in.
See, now that was a miscommunication because then Spencer, they have to kind of, you got to put your arm up and say, okay, I'm going to stop it. I'm going to stop it. And that's big for Stell in the goal, that she was holding back and said, okay, my defenders will be able to do this, but you just can't miscommunicate or else you're going to be in trouble.
Delaney Fitzgibbon jogs off for North Scott. Now it's Kennedy Thiessen. Ranging over, Neasley. Oh, and a good ball forward for Moeller. But Aubrey Stell doing a good job of ranging over to collect it. But then off the goal, immediately North Scott takes it away. Oh, too strong. 10 for Kenna McGee.
I believe we now have 8-0 over there on DCG and Bishop, or in Marion.
It's really kind of an interesting dynamic, Blake, when you think about it, because obviously you're paying attention to the task at hand, but when you look behind you, if you're the student athletes, you hear the cheering and you see what's going on. You just know that whoever comes out of that match is going to be your next test.
Yeah, and you don't see it anywhere else, you know? Like volleyball, there's a giant net, or there's a giant or wall pretty much separating you and the other floor. But here at state soccer, you can just look right across the way and you can see how the other team's doing. Now, I don't think the athletes do that much, but if you're on the bench, you're definitely looking. I mean, you know, and you don't want to look ahead, especially if you're leading or whatnot.
That one went underneath the bar. Oh, what a close look for the Tigers. Another second chance opportunity, but Nepper was right there to squeeze that one in. But, boy, that was just inches away from equalizing things here at the County Soccer Complex.
That was like, I mean, all it had to do was hit a little bit further in. It would have dropped in, but it just caught the bottom of the bar and drops out. Unlucky break.
Looking to counter was North Scott, but things will get slowed down. Will result in a free kick here for Kendall Nicely and the North Scott Lancers.
It's 9-0 now. Over between DCG and Marion. 5 minutes to go in the half.
Can't remember the last time we saw the mercy rule come into effect here at the state tournament. Just very odd because, again, oftentimes things are evenly matched. Bella Warm met up by Sadie Cayley of Spencer. Errant ball played by Thiessen. Nicely tried to play it forward, and now here's Mathieson. Sadie Cayley across the line for Spencer. 15 minutes to go here in the first half. Tigers have been knocking on the door. They trail by 1. Nice attempt to flick that one ahead by Sadie Cayley, the junior forward. It will be Natalie Nepper, the senior. That will boot this one away.
Kaylee got a good foot on that. I mean, if a little bit more power and somebody else was there, that could have been a goal if the goalie wasn't watching. Good job by Nepper, though. She's been staying on task, if you will, right now, staying ahead of things.
Going back to Natalie Nepper, 81% save percentage, batting that one right there. 68 saves and 16 goals allowed entering the state tournament.
Luckily, it's not like being an infielder for softball and baseball. The bounces aren't terrible, but you can definitely catch the ball on a wrong divot in the grass, and that ball will bounce a little bit higher or off to the side than you thought it would.
Mathieson with a strong move, backing down her opponent. And now it's Mallory Clemmy. Just a quick change in direction for Spencer as they will bring in a substitution too, as will North Scott.
Boy, what a competitive first half. I mean, besides that goal that was so early in the match, you just got to be kicking yourself if you're Spencer just because of how much you've held in here for the time being. But
so they changed course. Will belong to Spencer, but pretty reminiscent, Blake, of the match that we had previously here to start our action here on Field 7 with Davenport Assumption. Of course, they were able to win 2-0, but they did not score until 17 minutes remaining against Van Meter in that 1A quarterfinal. Another solid possession there for the Tigers. Olivia Jacobson just taking it away off of that throw from the keeper. We continue to just hear the cheers over from the field adjacent to us.
10-0 ball game. Once the halftime horn sounds, that game is over, because if it's 10-0 after the half, the match is immediately over. So,
a lot of contact there.
Hoban and I'm not sure who that was for. I believe Isabella Steiner for North Scott was the one that got together with Hoban.
Again, maybe just trying to force the contact a little bit there, but that stoppage there will allow a new player to come to the fold for Spencer, and that is Avery McEntee. Headed by Warm. Schnorenberg. And letting that roll out is Natalie Nepper.
Boy, besides that one goal that went off the bottom of the the top of the bar, that's really been all Spencer's gotten.
Well, and sometimes you need that one goal to maybe wake you up a little bit, just kind of send a message.
You wonder what's worse. Is it leading by one the entire game, or is it losing by one the entire game? Because your stress levels, you can't really breathe well unless you've got that 2-0 advantage. You got to play defense while trying to play offense at the same time.
Still a good look for Hoban, but not quite. Let's see if we get our first corner kick here of the match.
The wind has picked up, and it's in favor of the corner kicker here for North Scott.
So there is the corner.
Or for Spencer, excuse me.
Well defended by North Scott. A reminder that corner kicks all match long are brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time you're in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. Learn more at KrugerSeed.com. Foul will give it back to Spencer. Here as we are under 10 to go in the first half.
I do believe that is a final over there between Dallas Center Grimes and Marion. They played 40 minutes, and that's all they needed.
Oh, they wanted to get out of the heat very quickly. And
another thing, Hunter, winner Dallas Center Grimes can now come over here and watch this game. You don't get to study a lot of film.
A lot of early scouting report there as Aubrey Stell from her knees just kind of pegged over to get that light shot attempt from the Lancers.
That's another thing, playing all these games at the same time, you really don't get a scouting report. Granted, you do get that day off in between so you can watch these streams or whatnot, see what you did, but to be able to watch it in real time, it helps.
Jacobson brings it across for the Tigers. It's looking for Hoban. Then how about Jacobson hustling there to keep it alive for the Spencer Tigers. Trying to clear it out. Here's Jacobson with the shot. Oh, and it just goes over the crossbar. What a powerful strike from the junior Olivia Jacobson.
Just high. just high. And Nepper even still leaped up in the air trying to go for it. But I think it's going to take those. North Scott's been so good right up against the goal. I think it's going to take one of those longer goals here if you're Spencer, if you want to score.
Well, and that can certainly play tricks, again, with the keeper not knowing how to position yourself, especially when those free kicks are from beyond 30 yards out. Going back to Jacobson, 5 goals for her. 32 shots on the season. Put a bullet there, but now North Scott looking to respond. Kennedy Thiessen. Deflected off by Gross. Just trying to head it are the Tigers. But the Lancers in a good position.
That time Stell did not come out of the goal. That time she stayed smart and held back a little bit.
Ball hit the official there, and
he's good. He's
good to have a smile.
He's okay. He's okay. Took it like a champ. And he gets hit again.
Now they're just playing with him.
He's going to say, I'm going to go this way. You're going to kick it that way. Jeez. Now they're chasing him.
Making sure he stays clear away from the path of where the ball is at. But no, a special shout out there for all of our officials, working in the heat and keeping some fun out there as well.
I mean, they'll talk to the fans. They talk to us, talk to the players. I mean, they love this game just as much as they do.
Statler giving chase to it, but just couldn't catch up to it. Pace has really picked up for Spencer and really for this match here down the stretch in this one. As Delaney Fitzgibbon, after a breather, will check in for Mackenzie Muller.
Yeah, this wind has picked up. So if you're Spencer, use it to your advantage here.
Quickly throwing it in is North Scott. Trying to catch Spencer off guard for a brief moment.
Speaking of a brief moment, we got cloud cover for a brief moment for the first time today. Oh, it's gone.
Well, and again, with the expected pop-up showers later on in the day, you know that breeze is only going to continue to pick up throughout the course of the afternoon.
Looking to be about the same as yesterday, just kind of pop up out of nowhere. And
just almost a carbon copy of what we got yesterday weather-wise.
And for the boys' state tournament, for their sake, I hope it's not bad, because I don't know what they're going to do if they have to postpone tonight.
Absolutely.
You might be here till midnight. Sorry, honey.
Playing it off the hop nicely there was Nepper. Spencer has thrown a few different things at the senior keeper, and now picking up the pace is nicely the captain. Nicely to the middle.
That was a heck of a cross.
Tabitha Skiles took a little bit for her to retrieve it, but then Stell runs up to get it.
Stell's got a heck of a leg back there for the goalie. Usually you sometimes see a goalie say, give it to somebody else and take a goal kick, but now she's been able to boot it right out.
It's been the difference in allowing the Tigers to be able to get into possession on defense. It will be a throw-in here for the Spencer Tigers.
Got to give credit, though, to North Scott's defense. You're holding the number one scoring team in the state of Iowa still to 0 goals. I know this is probably the toughest team Spencer's faced all season, but definitely got to give a testament to them.
But just like that, the Tigers Going for it there was Gabrielle Statler. But had a few other players over to her left, maybe would opt to cross that one over, but just wanted to see if she had the right angle.
I don't hate the shot just because of the way the wind has kind of been. Like, even if she kicked it to the left, it might have carried. But, you know, we've talked about how congested they've been in front of the goal. So, you know, you might as well just keep trying goals far outside, because inside near the goal, it's going to be tough.
Bringing it up, Bailey Arbogast. Backline clears it for Spencer. Bella Warm has called her name very often here as Arbogast brings it in from the near side, hoping to build a corner, and she did. So how about that effort from the junior Bailey Arbogast, and that will be a Kruger Seeds corner kick, the first on the afternoon for North Scott.
I was going to say, we haven't seen them have that opportunity. Now, we talked about the wind being an advantage for Spencer. This is also an advantage for Spencer because you're going to be going into the wind here. The wind's going to carry this back downfield.
Sharp line drive from the corner. And cleared out by Spencer. Sadie Cayley keeping it in play, getting past Schorenberg, and then tried to play it forward for Anna Olsen.
Hoban has gone quiet here this half.
Oh, it gets in by the keeper at first, spins off. Second time ever since scoring that initial goal, Blake, where Aubrey Stell went out in no man's land and nearly conceded yet another goal, so the Tigers can breathe a sigh of relief once more.
Fitzgibbon knocked that in the air, and then I think she almost wanted to knock it down with her hands. She started putting her hands up. I don't know if she was just doing everything she could to avoid it, but I thought she was going to knock it down like in hockey. You can knock the puck down, but just missed the opportunity there. Sigh of relief for Spencer. Under a minute to go.
First half has flown by, as has the action. Spencer maybe build something here in the last moment. But they won't call it an offside.
Well, and that'll happen. You know, you're just trying to get that advantage, any sort of advantage. Good call by the official there.
Trying to build the spacing was Spencer, but officials saw that someone was offside here. Final set of seconds ticking away here in the half.
5 seconds, Sadie. Gotta go, man.
Sadie Cayley here towards the end. Oh, and the ball just went right behind Olsen to close out what was no doubt an exciting opening 40 minutes of action here at the County Soccer Complex, where it will be the 3 seed, North Scott, taking the 1-0 advantage into halftime against the 6 seed Spencer. We'll step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll have our halftime coverage next here on the Girls Union Network, which is powered by Mid-American Energy.
Living your best life means something different to everyone, especially when it comes to healthcare. That's why Mercy One offers compassionate, personalized care. We are here for you with one team of experts, providing access to the primary care and highly rated specialty care you need, easily and conveniently. So go ahead, live your best life. We're with you every step of the way. Mercy One, your best life, our one purpose.
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, You get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. And that old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe it. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
1-0 the score at halftime. The 3-seed North Scott, the Lancers, leading the 6-seed Spencer Tigers here at the Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau. On the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy, Hunter Phillips and Blake Walker here with you. And I'd say that was a pretty energetic first half. Even though it's only 1-0 on the scoreboard, both teams really had quality chances, but it did not take long for the Lancers to get on the board, where it was Reese Hilsenbeck, the junior, that was able to put it past the keeper there at the 5-minute mark, and they've been able to hold serve ever since.
Yeah, they have. Natalie Nepper's been really good in the goal for North Scott. She stopped that big goal that Spencer had a chance with that hit the bottom of the top bar and bounced out. She's been kind of everywhere this afternoon, so I'd love to see more of Addison Hoban. They kind of pulled away from her a little bit there in that second half, or end of the second half, or first half, excuse me. But I think North Scott's just doing a good job defending her, so someone else might have to step up for the Tigers. But other than that, North Scott's defense has been phenomenal, and you hate to give up that early goal for Spencer because right now you're not playing too bad defensively. I think they just weren't quite ready for the onslaught that they got in the beginning. So we'll see how they adjust here in the second half.
Yeah, the top scoring team in the state held scoreless there in the opening half. Again, North Scott with the advantage 1-0 here after 40 minutes of action. And now we'd like to take a moment to once again thank our title sponsor, the Iowa Farm Bureau, for their support of the state soccer tournament. Earlier this week, Aaron Kirtley of the IGHSAU had the opportunity to speak with Iowa Farm Bureau President Brent Johnson to learn more about Iowa Farm Bureau's support of the IGHSAU and student athletes from here across the state.
We'd like to welcome you to the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Soccer Tournament. I'm Erin Kirtley with the IGHSAU. We hope you've enjoyed the first half of action here at today's match. 2023 marks the 26th year of the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament, and we are so thankful for all of those who support this event and help us put this on. None other than our proud title sponsor, Farm Bureau. Joining me here today is Brent Johnson, president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. So why does the Iowa Farm Bureau invest in the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union?
Well, first of all, Aaron, I want to congratulate the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union for 26 years of state soccer. That's absolutely fantastic. And for the Farm Bureau to be involved in the last 18, we couldn't be prouder to be a part of this. These kids that are competing here today, they are amongst the nation's brightest and best student athletes, and just like Iowa's farmers are the best in the country at what they do, this opportunity to partner with you gives us the opportunity to celebrate both. We at Farm Bureau, we love to promote the kids, and after all, they will be someday our future leaders. And there's so many ways that we support them. Annually, every year, we give over $500,000 in scholarships across the entire state so that those kids continue their education. We have partnered with you and the High School Boys Association in providing concussion insurance for those kids participating in sanctioned sports. There's really only 7 states that even provide that opportunity for kids. We've helped teachers with, over the last several years, providing $450,000 in supplies for their classroom so they can do their job. And just recently, we just gave $1 million to the Iowa FFA Foundation so that they can continue to promote Iowa agriculture and tell the story as to why agriculture touches all of our lives every single day.
So the student athletes participating in this year's state tournament are taking home some awesome souvenirs. Can you tell us a little bit more about those?
Yeah, the Signature Ball program has been a student favorite for years now. And it's one of those mementos that those kids get to take with them. Every student participating in the tournament gets one of these signature balls that they can have their teammates, their coaches, and their mentors sign so that one day they can look back and think, the hard work and dedication that they put into their sport, it earned them the right to play at this tournament, and they can remember that in this Signature Ball program.
Thanks again, Brent, and to Farm Bureau, and enjoy your second half of soccer.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Slade's the place for you!
Almost ready to get back underway for our second half of this Class 2A quarterfinal featuring North Scott and Spencer. It is the Lancers on top of the Tigers 1-0 as we go into the final 20 minutes of action. Once again, Hunter Phillips and Blake Walker here with you on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. The winner of this match will go on to face the 2-seed Dallas Center Grimes, who steamrolled past the 7-seed Marion 10-0. That game only taking 1 half to play. Then other matchups going on as well. Top seed Waverly Shell Rock taking on the 8-seed North Polk. And then the 4-seed Pella leading the 5-seed ADM 1-0. We'll continue to provide updates on other scores throughout our broadcast here, but have a feeling, Blake, that something is going to happen here for Spencer, because they were just really so close on so many occasions. But then you can also say the same for North Scott, in that they had opportunities as well, especially when Aubrey Stell, the keeper for Spencer, was maybe venturing out a little too far for comfort. So we'll see what adjustments were made at half and see how it all plays out here to see who will move on to the semifinals.
And still, I'm like you said, I think she learned from her first mistake of giving up the goal. For her sake and for Spencer's sake, we'll see if that costs them the game.
Not on the same page right out of the jump were the Spencer Tigers. Stell ranging out. Still staying with it. There's the header, and it landed right into the lap of Aubrey Stell. Well, we just touched on it, Blake, and the fact that Stell does take some chances there at the goal, and once again, just fortunate that some of her teammates were there to preoccupy the Lancers.
How about the aggressiveness right out of the break? I mean, they're not holding back. They're going right at Spencer, and Stell there to save it, but a heck of a header that almost worked.
Goes out, throw in for the North Scott Lancers. Again, 5th straight trip here to the state tournament. But the last 2 seasons, last year falling to Waverly Shell Rock, the year prior to that Norwalk in the first round, trying to get to the semifinals for the first time in 3 years. And again, touching on the weather, continuing to get a little hot here, 85 degrees Temperatures continuing to climb throughout the afternoon, and the wind right at 15 miles an hour out of the south. And so now it will be North Scott that has the wind to their back.
Well, and Hunter and I, being the famed meteorologists that we are, when it's hot and it's windy, that usually means storms are coming. And we hope that the rain holds off. But sunny now. Come back in about an hour and a half or 2 hours. Should be interesting. But, no, the wind is definitely an advantage at some points for both these teams. And then sometimes it's like, oh, my gosh, I wish I didn't have the wind coming my way. It's definitely more than it was this morning. Let's just say that.
Yeah, like we talked about, just carbon copy of yesterday in terms of just how it gradually grew stronger throughout the course of the day. Spencer trying to build a little pressure on that back line of North Scott. Trying to handle that ball ahead was McWhirter for Spencer. Oh, and that will be a foul right there in the box. That was Nisley, the captain, a bit of a hip check.
She's lucky she didn't get a yellow card. I think it might have just been a, I'm not saying it was a sell, but it's definitely, you just draw a little bit of contact. They're usually going to give you the benefit of the doubt if you're the person that gets hit. And oh, by the way, it's a heck of a spot for a penalty kick.
And guess what? North Scott is 7 for 7 on PK attempts this year. And the shot goes past there along the left line. And the penalty gives North Scott a 2-0 lead.
That's Nisley's third penalty kick made of the season. And you hate to give them not free goals, but that's in some ways that's almost a free throw in basketball. And that's just a tough one to give up if you're Spencer.
And just really not much to it. Didn't put a lot of power to it was Nisley, but you want the senior there in that kind of a spot. That's her 17th goal of the season, and like you mentioned, she was 2 for 2 entering the state tournament. And now Spencer finding themselves down by 2.
Been impressed with Bella Warm on the defensive side, kind of midfielder side for North Scott. She's kind of been everywhere, not really letting that ball go too far.
That one rolls out. So Spencer's only given up 2 goals twice this season. Once was against Bondurant Farrar. We touched on that was their last loss on May 6th, and then in their season opener against Underwood back on April 1st. Lost that match 2-0.
It's uncharted territory, that's for sure. And it's worse when you're not the scoring goal team, and you've always been the scoring goal team all season long.
So a Kruger Seeds corner kick as North Scott continues to apply pressure here on the 6th seed Spencer.
Stell again came pretty far out for that one. I don't know if she got a hand on it or if the header was the thing that got it knocked out, but
ball headed up. Spencer trying to clear it away, but if there is one team that can overcome those deficits, it is the top goal-scoring team in the state, but North Scott having their way right now with Spencer. There's a shot up and just over to the right.
Just misses. Just misses. And I tell you what, the wind doesn't help that. I mean, the wind's going to carry that just a little bit more. That's why, it's great to have the wind, but sometimes shooting with the wind, you got to account for that.
On an errant play off the goal kick. Still remains with the Lancers in the Tigers' half. What a beautiful ball that was sent there from the corner. Picked up by Solis. A throw in for the Lancers, who got an early goal in the first half. A lot of power on that one, and an early goal here in the second half to put themselves up 2-0.
Feels like every goal, shot on goal, is a quality shot on goal for them. I mean, there hasn't been one where we're like, that maybe it wasn't the best shot to take. I think that's the thing. They're just very, very good on quality.
And that was Kennedy Thiessen. Sadie Kaylee has been trying to will the Tigers back. Now carving to the center.
She is so good. I mean, just getting to the ball, winning the one-on-one battles. I don't think she's lost a one-on-one battle yet.
Now here's Hilsenbeck. And Stell is able to clear it. Difficulty with it is Gross. Hoping the first touch we've really seen for her, which is well outside here in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that we just haven't seen her have it a ton.
Red block there for Kaylee, and now here are the Lancers.
She's done a lot just to pass it up to her teammates, which, again, isn't a bad thing. But
Stell boots it away. Won by Nisley at the center. Kaylee Johnson pushes it to Moeller. Then coming in from the back is Bullock for maybe a possible second chance opportunity. But that will allow an IMT substitution to come in for both teams. Again, substitutions in today's match are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at IMTINS.com.
Coach Hansel going to try to change a couple things here offensively. Got to give a shout-out to Coach Hansel. He's the 2023 IGHSAU Golden Plaque of Distinction Award winner, so congratulations to Spencer's head coach, John Hansel.
What a terrific job he has done with this program, and there is Bella Warm, who he gave praise for just moments ago, and just seems like she has great vision and knows how to play with the attacker in front of her. Just what you want out of your senior, who has seen a lot of high-quality soccer throughout her career. Hilsenbeck. Oh, and went right into the midst of Stell, but there was something on that one from the junior who got the scoring started for the Lancers back in the first.
It's a good catch. I wish we could see mile per hour off kicks. That had a lot of steam on it, like you said. Good stop by Stell. Just need one here for Spencer. You need that one goal to help get you back in it. I know obviously that's, the most obvious thing to say, but your confidence changes and the way the game plays changes, and there's one goal, just all you need.
And again, they have the personnel to do it. They're trying to get Addison Hoban involved, but they've had her well under wraps, North Scott has up to this point. Continues to remain with the Spencer Tigers, the 6th seed. Coming out of the Northwest Iowa Soccer League. Somehow kept that in play. Was Edwards.
Great defense by North Scott. That was a great look for Spencer. Lancer stayed on top of it, got a couple lucky bounces off a couple headers. They're already going back the other way.
Bullock retrieves it here at the middle. Ahead to Mueller. Trying to feed it to Hilsenbeck there in the center. On top of the box, but it will be the back line of Spencer trying to reset their formation. Coming in is Hilsenbeck, and you bet. Reese Hilsenbeck just put that one on a rope, and now it's a 3-goal lead.
Barely, I don't even think Stell reacted. I think it just went high into the left back corner, and she just didn't know what to do, and Hilsenbeck just continues to show that she's got what it takes here on the pitch. 14th goal of the year.
And just so aggressive, and on an afternoon clearly where fatigue will settle in for even the fittest of athletes, she has just continued to remain sharp. It was Delaney Fitzgibbon that was the multi-goal hero in Central DeWitt in the region championship, but today it has belonged to Reese Hilsenbeck. For North Scott, now up 3-0 with just a shade under 30 minutes left to go. Still time for Spencer, but need to get something positive going in a hurry.
Waverly Shell Rock just defeated North Polk 4-1. Pella is up against ADM with 1 minute to go in that one. That score is 1-0. So the Dutch look like they're going to move on. Obviously, Dallas Center Grimes have moved on. So
really no surprises other than just the fact that you very rarely see a game end in a half. How about the hustle from Lexi Ward as Hoban was charging in? You know that she is just chomping at the bit. Someone with over 60 goals on the season wanting to get something through the net, but got to give credit again, like you noted at halftime, Blake, of North Scots for just the tenacity on defense.
Yeah, there's no quit. I mean, they're just not giving up. They're keeping everything in front of them. Looks like Pella just went final over there with ADM. That'll be a tough game for Waverly Shell Rock. The Warner sisters of Pella are going to be not an easy team to get rid of.
Bump by Fitzgibbon for North Scott. Schorenberg. Nicely. Fitzgibbon looking for the give and go.
Just feels like also Hunter Spencer just hasn't had a breakaway at all today. It's just kind of been slowly work your way downfield. You get about one shot attempt every about 10 minutes, it feels like. Just haven't been able to get that breakaway you usually see a couple teams get. They've kept Hoban in check.
They have, but for a brief moment that looked good for Faith Statler. Delaney Fitzgibbon on the counter. Sheds past one defender. And then Lillian Gross knocks it away. Just been a step or two quicker North Scott has been here in the second half. Again, we're about 6.5 minutes away from the hydration break.
And it's like I said, it sounds crazy, but Spencer just hasn't played a ton of full games. You know, when you win 10-0, 11-0, games finish early, you don't play the full 80 minutes, you know? So, I mean, especially in temperatures like this, sometimes that'll really get to you.
Well, you look at the path here for Spencer. In 3 out of their last 5 matches, they won 10-0.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how they play, and it's not any fault of their own. They've played incredible soccer, but sometimes you just don't play the whole time.
Fitzgibbon batted away by Stell. 39-1. They have outscored their opponents in their last 5 matches. Spencer has.
That doesn't seem real, does it? Just kind of a crazy, crazy stat. But
North Scott has had all the answers up to this point and scored in the 5th minute In the first half, they used a Kendall Knisley penalty kick just a few minutes into the second half to go up 2-0. Reese Hilsenbeck knocking in her second goal just moments ago.
Weak dribbler. Look out, heads up.
That was heading right towards our broadcast location, maybe making our producer Justin Wolber a little nervous.
I already hit a kid's head over here. He was down looking at his phone.
It's kind of like being courtside for basketball. You just got to have your head on a swivel when you're...
Or in foul ball territory.
That's right. When you're about 3 yards away from the touchline.
More cloud cover starting to move in. A lot more partly cloudy skies. And I know what you're at home probably thinking, what does that mean to soccer? Well, it doesn't mean anything to soccer. It means a lot to us broadcasters who are sitting here.
It's the little things, really.
Hunter gets to call a game in the evening. I got one more after this. Let's see what they call here. I'm thinking handball, probably. Unfortunate handball for Hoban. Nope. Looks like they're going to get a free kick.
Yeah, but it will be Olivia Jacobson, who had a very strong shot to close the first half that was just inches away from curling underneath the crossbar. Let's see what Jacobson can put together here. Taken by Jacobson.
Too far. Those are tough. Closing in on that hydration break here. Be interested to see what Spencer changes here, if they come out aggressive out of the break. Obviously, North Scott came out of the half very aggressive to start.
Just have limited what Spencer has been able to do here in the second half. I mean, there were a lot of moments in the first half for the Tigers. But North Scott has just been oh so steady here in this quarterfinal matchup. Ball will be thrown in. Brief flurry there right along the center line. It will go to the Lancers. Tight battle for it.
Get a corner kick out of it. You know, North Scott, if they get away here with the victory today, Hunter, obviously you get Dallas Center Grimes in the second round. I love when the Eastern and Western Iowa teams play the Central Iowa teams because they usually don't play each other during the regular season, so it gives you a whole nother type of game that you really don't expect. And I did look. Pella did play Waverly Shell Rock earlier this season. Waverly Shell Rock got the 1-0 victory over the Dutch, so I don't know. Could be, you know, you could set yourself up for a all-Little Hawkeye Conference title game unless North Scott and Waverly Shell Rock got something to say about it.
Well, and oftentimes, too, here at State, you run across where conference rivals end up meeting in the quarterfinals where they maybe met once or twice, maybe even sometimes 3 times if they were at a select tournament.
For Waverly Shell Rock, it definitely looks like they won't be in a conference for the next couple of years. Might go independent. So I know a couple of people talked about them joining North Scott's conference, but just didn't work out that way. But like I said, again, North Scott is, again, one of those schools that we talked about, Hunter. You just play those higher-level schools, those 3A schools all year, if you will. And it just helps you so much.
Again, it's all about that body of work that really makes the difference. Fitzgibbon. Estelle runs up to it before the Lancers can make a play.
And
Bella Warm.
Looking at Spencer's schedule, toughest games they've played, 2 of the 3 of their losses are against the toughest teams they've played in Underwood and Bishop Helen, both teams that made it to the state tournament. Bishop Helen made it to the second round. Did Underwood win? I can't remember if Underwood won today, but that's just something you got to think about going forward. No, Underwood did not win. They played Gilbert. But still, state tournament teams.
So our next dead ball should pause our action here for a minute or so.
And there it is. Unless the official doesn't see the clock. He doesn't see the clock. We'll go till he wants, I guess.
Go, Mel. Go, Mel. Go.
On the run, the Tigers left an opening. So that one just went off to the left. That was Faith Statler. They've been close, but the Tigers just have not been able to get one past North Scott, who added 2 goals thus far here in the second half. They're up 3-0 here with 19:16 remaining here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Living your best life means something different to everyone, especially when it comes to healthcare. That's why Mercy One offers compassionate, personalized care. We are here for you with one team of experts, providing access to the primary care and highly rated specialty care you need, easily and conveniently. So go ahead, live your best life. We're with you every step of the way. Mercy One, your best life, our one purpose.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sun-kissed orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion. Because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
Hey fans, Central College has you covered with career-building programs, and with tuition less than $20,000 a year and tons of scholarships, it's the best decision ever. Apply today at central.edu. Just over 19 minutes remaining here in this Class 2A quarterfinal between the 3-seed North Scott and the 6-seed Spencer. North Scott up 3-0. So now's the time for Spencer to make some noise if they want to get back into this match and try to potentially force some OT. But North Scott has certainly played with a little extra energy here today, especially in the second half where they have scored 2 goals.
Yeah, they've stayed on top of things. Really haven't given Spencer a chance to breathe, and the Tigers just haven't had a chance to get down and score very often. That's been the big difference maker in this one.
So it's Reese Hilsenbeck with 2 goals and Kendall nicely with 1 goal, which was a penalty kick. But also give credit to the back line as well for North Scott, including Bella Warm, who is going to be a penalty on Spencer.
Isn't it nice when you're so close to the pitch you can actually hear what the refs are saying?
Official made the clarification that it was, in fact, a free kick for the Lancers.
It's a good
Taken
kick.
by Steiner. Ball still batted around. There along the left front.
I swear this official does basketball too, so he's a jack of all trades. Only downside is they're not wearing pink. Our first crew of the day was wearing pink.
There's Lexi Ward for North Scott. Faith Statler. That is going to be a foul on Steiner. Right in front of us against Olivia Jacobson, who is trying to create a little separation.
You do everything you can do to get an advantage on those one-on-one battles, and you're gonna have fouls, and that's gonna happen. Just gotta always keep the officials there ready.
Warm not on the same page as Stetler.
Boy, I know how I talked about Spencer, taking the long shots, but there's been a couple times where you just feel like they can maybe give up a pass or pass it and then maybe go for a goal, and they're just taking the long goal. I think it's just kind of a situational thing.
Good crosser opportunity there. Just not getting the footing was Faith Statler, but the freshman had a great look, and you wonder, too, Blake, being the high-scoring team that you are, maybe you just try to force things a little bit, especially when time winding down, 3-goal deficit. Maybe just trying to push the envelope a little too much instead of going back to your fundamentals and what has gotten you here.
Well, that's very true. I mean, there's been a formula that's worked all year, and that's give the ball to Hoban, and then if Hoban doesn't work, you just kind of work yourself around. But, if that doesn't work, obviously things have to change up on the fly.
Arbogast to the center. Steiner. It stays with North Scott. Just plain takeaway right now from Spencer. Trying to, again, take as much clock down as they can. As 3 new players for North Scott will come in, and 1 for Spencer. Here as we're approaching 15 minutes to play in regulation.
And this is where it gets tough. I mean, it's the hottest part of the day right now, and the breeze, I think, is saving a lot of these players. It's saving me, if you wanted to ask. But, I definitely think it's one of those things that you just got to keep up on it, And Spencer really hasn't subbed a lot, but, to tell you the truth, they don't have that many subs in general. They're not a very deep team.
And that probably played a role as well, just not having that depth that maybe other teams have.
I mean, North Scott's almost double sitting. You got girls on the ground and you got girls up on the seats. So they definitely have plenty of depth to go to. And Spencer, I only count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 girls on the bench.
From the center line. Kicked out of play.
To back behind us.
Once more going over the bracket here in 2-way. Waverly Shell Rock. Getting past North Polk. Pella, the 4 seed. Over ADM, and then Dallas Center Grimes with an impressive performance over Marion. So just one team left to decide who is going to play on Friday in the semifinals, but time is running out on the Spencer Tigers. What a pass, and that will be a corner kick.
What?
But Stell just got her hands on it.
Oh, my God.
Helsenbeck has done just about a little bit of everything today, Blake.
Well, that, and then the shot was great, but Aubrey Stell, I don't even know how she got back there. She put her hands up last second and barely knocked that thing out. She took a tough hit to the ground. The official's going to check on her, but oh my goodness, what a play by both sides.
Boy, you just love the effort from Aubrey Stell, just laying out to be able to just get her, what appeared to be just her fingertips, just enough to be able to disrupt that shot attempt.
You're going to make sure she's okay. She took a hit on the ground going for it, but man, that was impressive, though.
Glad to see that she is all right. You know, goalkeepers are just as tough as they come. Here is a Kruger Seeds corner kick for North Scott. What a strong shot, and just going over by Ellie Scott.
It's amazing how good it'll look from here. That's why you always hear that crowd up, and then you just kind of drop back down. But
well, and like you talked about earlier, Blake, just the shot on goal percentage has just been incredible here by North Scott today.
It's like I said, there's just been no bad goal or shots. I mean, it just feels like every single one has a chance of going in. Which I know Stells say you give up 3 goals, but my goodness, she's still been phenomenal in terms of holding back a lot. A little bit bigger clouds starting to sneak in here.
So a little bit of cover here across the county soccer complex.
There's been a couple fouls today, but no yellow cards. Players are keeping it pretty clean for the most part. Don't forget, coming up after this on field number 7, it is, you guessed it, another 3-7 matchup, Johnston and Linmar.
That'll be a really intriguing one to watch because Johnston, they have just been hanging around the top 5 all year, and talk about a loaded schedule, but Linmar, how many quality teams are out there?
I was going to say.
Of course, everyone's chasing Joaquin Northwest, the number 1 seed. NK Centennial, defending champs, West Des Moines Valley, a loaded 3A field, as I think it always is the case.
It's a lot of CIML. It's basically the CIML state tournament, and unless you're Linmar, and I can't remember who the other team was. But
that'd be Pleasant Valley, who both of these teams were acquainted to earlier in the season. Eliza Edwards just kind of lost her footing there, and also want to give a shout out to the Des Moines Parks and Recreation for making sure that the county soccer complex is all fit, ready to go for not just 1 but 2 state tournaments this week. These fields are certainly going to get a lot of use, but
they were watering them this morning, even after last night's rain. They got sprinklers out this morning watering the fields.
Just making sure everything is the best condition for all the athletes coming out here to Des Moines this week. Reese Hilsenbrecht will check out, as will Ellie Scott. Those two playing a big role amongst many others in the success today. It looks like the athletic training staff is out to check a member of the Spencer Tigers, and that is Eliza Edwards. And so she gets helped off and hope that she is all right, and maybe just needs to get
I think
get
it's
hydrated
and
and
that's
rest.
a hydration issue. It's a long day in the heat, sun. Get her some water.
Well, and in our first broadcast, you start the season in late March, early April. The weather's completely different then than it is now
40s,
as,
rainy.
as you get past the Memorial Day weekend.
We hit a switch 2 weeks ago, and we have been hot and dry ever since here in the state of Iowa.
Sadie Cayley, oh, what strong hands from Natalie Nepper as Sadie Cayley nearly was able to jar that loose out of the hands of Nepper, but she has been sure-handed today. Less than 10 minutes to go. Holscher gets it knocked by Erdman. Sadie Cayley caught up by Bella Warm, who has just been like Velcro on no matter who she has defended today. That will go back to North Scott. And again, if you were to say that Addison Hoban would have, what, maybe 2 shot attempts today, which were header attempts in the first half, and that was it. It's hard to believe, just considering just how terrific she has been this year.
Right, and Sadie Cayley's been having to take a lot of that effort on the offensive side just because Hoban has just been a non-factor. But you give all the credit in the world to North Scott. They have just kept her away. I mean, she just can't seem to do anything. I can tell that she's frustrated out there. North Scott's defense has just been so phenomenal, keeping Addison Hoban from even touching the ball.
Especially limiting the touches here in the second half. So after that handball, free kick, and the Lancers will send it into the Tigers' half, and there is the aforementioned Addison Hoban. Again, just a sophomore.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Get used to hearing the name.
I mean, most of the playmakers on this Spencer offense are underclassmen. They're not seniors. So, I mean, yes, they're going to lose a couple seniors, but nothing offensively that is going to be huge. You bring Hogan back, you bring Kaylee back, you bring Mallory Clemmy back, your goalkeeper comes back, Statler comes back. So, I mean, you know, we'll definitely see them back. I think they'll come back for a 6th straight year next year and just see Hoban back at it.
Going to be a fun team to keep an eye on next year, no doubt about it.
And I know it's frustrating. You want to get out of the first round, but you know, you just gotta keep going. Your time will come, you know.
Meanwhile, for North Scott, again, the mission this season was not just to get here to state, but to be able to get that first win they haven't been able to get in a couple of years, and really played with a purpose right from the get-go.
They're like one of only probably like less than 5 teams in the state to have a tie on their resume. You don't see that a lot here at state soccer, but a tie for North Scott. And, you know, I think seeding-wise, a lot of people look at Spencer and they're like, well, they're the highest scoring team in the state. Why are they ranked 6th? Well, the state looks at strength of schedule, and that's definitely been one of those things that Jason Esslinger, who does those rankings, he looks at, you know, and he talks to different coaches and whatnot, and that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles. And we've seen 8 seeds come in and just wallop 1 seeds, and you're just like, what happened there? But, you know, it just varies.
Yep, again, just tough play there along the center line. Oh.
I don't know how in the world Lauren Horst took that to the face and, like,
yeah,
she's down on her knees, or down, hands on her knees. She just took a wild hit to the face.
Yeah, that's just one of those plays that can happen in soccer, and she's going to be helped off, and think she's
Two
going to be all right.
unfortunate injuries here in the last 10 minutes for Spencer. Man, she took a hit. She hopped right back up, but good on the official to recognize that and stop play.
IMT's insurance substitution will be Isabella Valverde, a senior forward. So senior coming out here with just over 5 minutes left to go in this one. Getting a chance to be on the pitch here at the state tournament. Good ball ahead. That was Mary Mathisen. Spencer continuing to battle hard.